this is how to draw a neo-traditional rose. Enjoy. Right people, how to draw a neo-traditional rose. Now this varies from like the traditional ones. I'm going to be doing this on Procreate. And we're doing it in 4 layers, so sketching, line work, shading, colour. So as usual, start with sketching, then we'll work our way down from the top. So start off with sketching, technical pencil. Now you can do this on paper, with pens, markers, whatever you want. Just copy what I do and go along, like most people normally do. So you're going to start off with a circle. And once you're at this stage, you kind of work out what direction you roughly want your rose to be facing. If you want it to be standard, I'm going to have mine facing in this rough direction. So I want generally everything to kind of flow in this direction. So I'm going to start off with and get like myself a base piece. So this piece kind of sit on the front. I'm going to bring a line, curve it off, bring it back, create a little dip just here. Bring this back like so. So I'm basically making one sort of piece to sit on top. It's all going to be kind of layers. So you're going to have this one here. And then I'm going to create this like second bunch of layers. The easiest way to do this is like either straight lines or V shapes. And kind of plot them in. So I'm going to have this one I want kind of coming here. This one's going to come off here. I'm going to have another one just here. And one coming here. So you're basically just building like a little bunch of shapes that kind of fit within this circle space. And now you've got these shapes, we can kind of bold them out. So this one here, at the bottom, I'm going to bring out this way. I'm going to bold out here, and bold down to there. So you've got 2 loops coming out, like so. This one's going to be a bit more straight, so I'm going to bring this out of here again. I might have this one like 3 little bumps. So 1 bump, 2 bump, 3 bump. This one here is going to come up in 2. I'll turn it a little bit thinner as we kind of go up. And this one's going to like join up with these 2, so it's going to curve off here. I might have 2 bumps just on there. And then this part, this top section just here, is where you want like the main bud of the rose. So I'm going to start off with a little semicircle. I'm going to bring another sort of semicircle bit just over the top. And then the third one I'm going to have come up but a bit wavy, so bring like a little bit more of a head over the top. And this main one here I'm going to have fairly dark. I might put a little thin line detail just in the middle. And then from there I'm going to work out this sort of rough shape. So what we've got here, I'm going to bring in this line just here. And this one coming here just so it isn't like a dead perfect circle. You can have it perfect circle if you want. I like mine to be just a little bit off. And each one going upwards I prefer to have inside the previous one. So this one here sits up further. This one sits on inside, this inside. This one's inside, so this one's going to curve just here. And once you've got this, it's what I kind of call like your base layer. And I'm going to have 2 sets of petals. So I'm going to do my first ones, which are going to be shorter and just kind of closer to the edge. So I'm going to bring this one around here. It's going to curve up and come down here. So see, it's sitting quite close to the base. Another one's going to come here. Another one is going to come just there. And then I have my second ones, which are going to be the bigger ones. They're going to sit in the background. I like to have one big dominant one. And I usually have this at the bottom. So this is going to come out like this. So almost kind of sort of like circular. Just a bit kind of like certain kind of points. So this is going to come to a bit of a point here, and curve there. And I'm going to have some other ones come around. And they're not all going to be the same shape. I'm going to have like all of them kind of a bit different. So this one's going to kind of come here. This one's going to be a bit wavy. Come around this top. This one's going to sit around the back of there. This one's going to come here, going behind this one just here. And now we've got that, we've got our next layer, which is going to be the leaves. I like these going to come out of gaps, so I'm going to have this one come out here. So I'm going to draw a big straight line. I like these to be quite big when I'm doing neo-traditional. And I'm going to bring this one curving back like so. And I'm going to bring this other curve, and I'm going to have this one connecting shorter than that line. So bring this out again. Shorter than that one. I might bring a little kind of spike one, which is like a little kind of flick. I'm going to bring in quite a few of these. one over here. This one I'm going to have very big, very round over here. And maybe a little one next to it. Another one just up here. And maybe one just up there. Like so. And this is the basic kind of structure. So what I'm going to do, most of these lines I'm doing quite bold. And then I'll come in with a thinner line and do little fine details, and then we're going to come in with colour afterwards. So now go to your line work, go black, inking. I'm going to use Studio Pen, and I want this fairly thick, so I'm going to go about this kind of thickness, I think. Yeah, I like this. So now I'm going to go over everything we've just done with the black pen. So just building everything up. And once you've done this, you'll see the lines that I've left in the spaces where we're going to do little thin line details. I'm going to do one little spike here that I didn't do before, which I quite, looking at, I just feel like it needs it there. Now, sometimes you might just see the bit of which you think, oh, you know, actually look good if this was in there. If you get those kind of moments, in my opinion, just always add it. You know, even if it means ruining the design, you know, always be, you know, willing to experiment and try new things. You know, that random idea you might have might end up being like a signature trademark in the future. You know, it might be something that no one else has done. You know, it might be something that looks amazing. You know, worst case scenario, it just means the picture doesn't quite look as good as you want it, but there's nothing wrong with it. You know, it's every person who's ever come up with an idea that is absolutely amazing has been something that just thought, oh, you know, well, just give it a try. You know, it's, in my opinion, I think every great idea has just been a spur of the moment thing which they've realised, damn, that's good, and just stuck with it. So just keep doing these, keep bringing them in. You know, I recommend trying to pull your lines in one smooth motion if you can. You know, if you can't, it's not an issue, but it's good practice. And don't worry if you can't go as fast as me. I know I say it in almost every video, you know, but it's not a race. You know, I am well aware of how quick I go on these things. You know, but that's only because I've drawn them a million times over. You know, I've been drawing this sort of stuff for the past like 15 odd years. I am very familiar with how to do it. So now we've got that, I'm going to turn off that sketching layer. And I'm going to turn down my line size now. So if you're on paper, just get a thinner line. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to put in a few line details. So I'm going to do a line here on this inside parts. Remember the base? All the inside parts of the inside petals, I'm going to do a line just going parallel to the outside bit. So when I zoom out, you'll see what I mean. So you see just all those inside bits, just around that circular part, I've done those lines. That's inside part here, I'm going to have a thinner line just coming through there. Just for the sake of having it. I might have a couple of just little lines just around the place, not too many of these, just literally just a couple I think. And maybe just one there. Yeah, I like that. I like to go not too crazy with those. I used to go a lot more crazy with them, but over the years, my opinion's changed on them. So for inside the leaves, I'm going to do this kind of curve going towards the base. And each one I'm going to go higher and come down low. So I'm going to start here, curve down into it, curve down into it, curve down into it. You can have as much or as little as you want. I like to sort of vary it up. And just keep bringing them down. I quite like them facing downwards. I mean, you can keep them fairly, you can sort of go like this if you want, but it's just not as appealing to me as what that is. You know, it's all personal preference. You know, if you prefer that, there's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of artists that do that way as well. It's just not for me anymore. So just doing the exact same thing, just bringing these lines down into that center line, like so. I'm not too worried when it comes to the space because I'm going to be using black shading in that. So that area is going to be blacked out, so it wouldn't make any difference me putting stuff inside those areas. And I think that's it for all those lines. Just double check. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to go into the shading. First, click on line work and make sure it's set to reference. Now, top left hand corner, there's a selection tool. You see it highlighted, and you've got automatic. So what I'm going to do now is select inside all the areas of the leaves to begin with. So I'm going to work with the leaves and I work inwards, I think. The main reason I want to start with the leaves is because I know I want them black on the inside. So by putting my black first, it's going to really help me work out my kind of levels. And by levels I basically mean between like pure black and pure white. You know, if I go fairly dark to begin with and then I do the black on the outside, it might feel like too much. As well, if I do the black first, I can really get a good sense of what is too much and what's too little. So I'm going to do black. I'm going to fade this up from the bottom, coming outwards. So I'm using a spray paint tool here. You can use whatever sort of preference you prefer. If you don't on paper, just blend it out. And if you sort of struggle with blending, I do have some old sort of videos on paper talking you through markers and sort of shading techniques and stuff. And I will do another video soon on marker technique. You know, I still love using my markers, and I know a lot of people do struggle with those, so I'll do my best to help. So now I'm going to keep working slowly inwards, just putting a little bit of black. So I want a bit of black just here on this inside leaf one. A little bit here, mainly just like on the inside bits, just where it kind of like goes underneath. So a tiny section just there. And not too much, literally, I'm just putting just a fraction of it really. Most of this I want the colour to do the magic. I might put just a tiny bit. Just on a little bit. The little inside bit we've done now, I want to black that out. Just going to select this outside part. Blacken that. Blacken that. Now I think that's it for the black. I don't use too much black, so I'm going to go down to the colour now. So I'm going to use mostly reds. So to begin with, I'm going to select my red. I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to do the pink layer first. And then I'm going to come in with that red where I want it. I find it's easier to put the light in first sometimes. Sometimes it's the opposite, sometimes it's easy to go the other way. But just to build this up, I'm going to go red. And I'm putting just red kind of like mainly around the outside bit, just kind of building up. And a little bit where it kind of underlaps. So again, just get me like a nice pink. And a couple of these I am going to have pink as well. And a couple I'm going to have a bit more red. So this one's going to be fairly pink. This one I want to be red. This one I want to be pure red. I'm going to go pink with this one to begin with. Select red. Yeah, I like how that's looking. Again, it's going to go like a nice pinkish tone to begin with. Just let me red. And I'm going to come up here. Each time there's like a little dip in the design, I'm just going to curve out from that. And where we've done that black, I'm just going to go stronger around there. So you see, making this nice little kind of highlight area within the rose part. And there's other ways you can do it, like I'm going to do on this one. So we're going to have red from this middle piece. I'm going to have reds curving up to that, sort of point on the rose petal. And then red from there. So you've got this like little highlight coming through the centre. And the other variation we've got, which I do on this one. So we go pink. Going to have red come through that, and you can either just fade it out to like that, or you can have like red coming from the outside, so you get like a nice straight highlight coming through. Again, it's going to go pink in this. Get red. Coming off of this bit. And I'm going to make this bit quite sort of bendy, so I'm going to bring in like a big red chunk just here. A big red one just there. So you feel like this big kind of sort of bend in it. Pink. Back in the red. Like so. Maybe have those little gappy bits just there. And just here, I'm going to make these quite a light pink, I think. And these bits haven't got decided which colour I'm going to go for these, so I'm going to go red, orange. No. Tell you what I'm going to do with some of these, I'm just going to flip through some colours, so I'm going to put the orange in there, go hue saturation. I'm just going to scroll this through and just see what kind of works for me, what I'm kind of feeling. Oh, the blue's quite nice. I think I'm going to go for this pinkish purplish, yeah. There we go, I like that. Now I'm going to select inside all those leaf areas on the outside. Oh, why does it not let me undo the selection? Sorry, it's been a bit of pain in the bum with going backwards for some reason. On the iPad on Procreate, you can normally double tap to go back. But for some reason, when I double tap, it's telling me it's going back, but it's not actually doing anything. Right, that's all those bits selected. Now I'm going to start off with this darkish green. And I'm going to come back in with this like nice army green, kind of avocado-ish kind of colour. And I'm just going to do the tips, just the tips in those colours. I'm going to get those bits there, and I'm just going to do these in yellow, I think. Oh, missed one. Could have sworn there was 3, there we go. I'll get a bit of baby blue, and I'm just going to flick just a little bit of this, not too much, just in the background. Just kind of sort of showing between the gaps, like so. And there you have it. That is how you draw a neo-traditional rose. I hope you like it. Check out my videos, comment, like, subscribe. I'm the Broken Puppet, and I will see you next time, people. Peace.